is the race committee. We have passed the wind test, and this race is live.
And that is exactly what we wanted to hear. At 2 minutes and 10 seconds, coming in from fourth will be Emirates Team New Zealand. At the 2-minute mark, it will be starboard entry for INEOS Britannia. Seas look a little lumpy today.
Yeah, really bumpy water out there today. Very light breeze, so very difficult conditions for both teams. A lot of leftover swell from yesterday's breezy conditions.
A massive difference in wind pressure all over the course, really hard to predict. Staying on the foil is going to be the key, especially in the pre-start.
So in comes Emirates Team New Zealand. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen, they cannot enter until 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Time on distance looks pretty spot on, and they get the green light to enter the start box, and then it will be INEOS Britannia in at 2 minutes. Now this is going to be an interesting one today. Slightly late INEOS Britannia, they get the green light. Here we go.
Let's get into it, mate. So we can do. Nice way for you. Board.
He's went down, working up here.
100% okay, mate.
Yeah. Gas him.
Really different pre-start. With these bumpy conditions, both boats taking on different manoeuvres. Can Emirates Team New Zealand stay on the foils here? I think they're off the foils.
Okay, we'll try to the foil.
Okay, nice.
Your wheel.
My wheel. Keeping the speed on.
It's breeze.
That's a really big touchdown there. Emirates Team New Zealand, they're going to have to roll out of here, I think.
Just clear.
A huge opportunity for the British. It is so tricky in this waves, it's going to be hard to get up.
Really difficult to spin these boats down speed, so Emirates Team New Zealand will be very much stuck in irons there, doing everything they can to get the bow down.
This could just be the weakness, the chink in the armour that the British have been waiting for.
All about the foil here, no problem with them.
Ben Ainsley just saying absolutely about keeping the boat on the foils. Emirates Team New Zealand could be well and truly very late for this start.
Absolutely no problem with them. Go above them is quite nice.
The wind is so soft, we're seeing just over 6 knots.
British will make sure they sail right in front of Emirates Team New Zealand and actually make sure that their wing wash makes it difficult for the Kiwis to get going as well.
They look early for the boats, I'm not sure.
Not the view that Nathan Outridge would have been hoping for.
Up on starboard here, so just trying to get up one. Don't need to start moving until they're on. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely do one more.
British just gaining maximum pace to secure this manoeuvre.
But race 5 is alive, and it will be advantage INEOS Britannia in the match.
My wheel here. Yep.
The British team will just sail past, providing more wing wash. They'll dip start. They are on the foil, and Emirates Team New Zealand absolutely dead in the water at the moment. So the British will dip start, and they will be launched.
Kiwis could be parked there a long time. Big bump, only just over 6 knots of wind pressure.
They're still going the other way. It's clearing up all the time.
So are we seeing a turning point, or as Shirley said earlier, a tipping point? We've got a guest commentator in today, and it's the skipper of Athena Pathway, Hannah Mills. Hannah, welcome to the team. Nice day to come in.
Yeah, good day to come in. I mean, the British team just did an awesome job there in that pre-start. You know, obviously the Kiwis fell off the foils, and the British really capitalised on that, just giving them as much gas as they possibly could, going back and forth in front of them, blocking their wind, making it hard for them to get up on the foils. And yeah, just a great pre-start from the British.
We heard when the teams were doing their pre-race manoeuvres and checks that the Kiwis were concerned about the wave state, about manoeuvres in the wave state.
Everything on the waves.
But so surprised to see them caught out like that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure Emirates Team New Zealand on their biggest sail package, so just having a look at this manoeuvre, they would have been jibing directly into their own gas here, and really difficult there to keep the boat on the foils. The British winding up and doing their entry with a lot of boat speed and a lot of apparent wind flow, so Potentially a little mistake there
Okay, we're just rolling to
by
10.
Emirates Team New Zealand.
Right now.
We've seen how tough it is in other races with this light wind in the pre-start box and the gas.
Forward down.
Well, if INEOS Britannia surely can keep the boat on the foils here, they will be absolutely launched in this race. Very difficult if they can keep the boat foiling for Emirates Team New Zealand to dig their way back into this race.
Yeah,
The
still
good
up
news
the
for the
foil.
British team, there's more wind further up
Okay.
the track.
I'm trailing here, lads. Yep.
And Hannah, you've sailed in these bumpy conditions on the AC40. How tough is it to drive the boat in this amount of seaway?
Oh, it's so tough.
Limits on the boundary.
It is so tough, and you know, the Kiwi team there couldn't quite get on the foils before the boundary. They've had to do a really slow tack right at that boundary, and
We can get to and in left.
it's all about building from here for them.
If it looks like, I think we just have.
The New Zealanders are yet to cross
looks okay at the
the
moment,
start
Paige, what do you
line.
Yeah, no, I think it does. And there's actually a nice breeze just inside. We might just look into that. Yeah, good, nice lads.
Still locking into the windward heel.
Copy.
In my correction, that was a mistake. The Kiwis have started just sailing above this committee boat end.
INEOS Britannia fans, something to cheer about now. Is this the day it turns? Is this the day where the fight back begins?
Turn at the moment at the top for shift. Breeze also looks good.
So
doesn't it, on the
INEOS
left?
just
Yeah,
right
that's
up
okay.
next to us
Just
here
all
now.
about
We're
staying on
at
the foil,
top
eh?
left,
Okay,
and
25
they
this
just
way.
didn't
the
get
speed
caught
on,
up in
turn.
that game with
Yeah,
Emirates
anytime
Team New
that you think's
Zealand.
good.
They're going to be at least a leg ahead
15.
because of that touchdown.
stand
The
by.
challenge for INEOS is to just make sure they keep foiling all the way around the track.
Forward.
And not worry about the New Zealanders so much because they're a long way behind. So it's all, the destiny of this one is in the hands of INEOS with such a massive lead.
A big touchdown. They've just got to keep the boat foiling, the British team. Emirates Team New Zealand is really trying to build, just getting their boat to take off. If the British do come off their foils at some point in this race, as we've seen, those massive gaps can close up in the blink of an eye. So this race is not going to be over until it's over.
Should be able to take that up a bit. Pretty nice.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shortening to 1.35 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 195.
Yeah, less wind pressure than expected. I mean, we've seen in plenty other races, no lead is big enough.
Fucked up with our race.
And great shot there of the course. More wind at the top end of the course and treacherous currently at the bottom.
And forward down. 3, 2, 1, mate. Turning.
Never mind.
Over. One, going board. Okay. That is your right turn.
Yeah, copy. Right here.
Plenty of pace to stay on the
Don't know
foils
what's going on.
here for
Taps
INEOS
clappers
Britannia.
all over the show.
Just ask them, tell them on race control maybe, that channel.
INEOS Britannia coming
Race
to the
control,
top
can someone
gate
look
for
at
the
that?
first
Tap,
time in
something's
this
going on since you moved the course,
six-leg
it's not
race.
working.
It is race 5 in the match, and they have
Okay, call
a
us back.
gigantic lead.
This is the umpire's message received.
2, 1, all the way down.
Has this feeling, Glenn, a little bit of day 3 of back in Auckland, when
Hey, my trap.
New Zealand had to level the series up, and then it was that moment in time the following day, and maybe this is that moment for INEOS Britannia.
Wave here.
Absolute dream start
Okay,
in this
stand by.
race for INEOS Britannia, doing a beautiful job keeping their boat foiling
1, mate.
Turning.
Oh well.
in those conditions. Very, very difficult, and they've done a good job of it.
Yeah.
There's still some big holes on this racetrack, though, particularly down near the start area.
Taking, mate.
Very, very light down there.
The wind has currently rotated quite a lot to the right-hand side, but because boats are on different legs, race committee can't rotate it just yet. But we can see the British almost pointing at the finish.
Hannah, what would you be looking at downwind here, do you think, for the British team?
Yeah, I mean, I think the British team doing an awesome job just staying on the foils. I can't say enough how challenging it is with the sea state and this light winds just to keep the boats foiling, and we saw that in the pre-start, obviously, with Emirates Team New Zealand. And the British team just going to be trying to keep it simple, make sure they've got really good speed for every manoeuvre, and as we say, just keep it on the foils.
Lead this side. Yep.
Pressure looks reasonably even at the moment.
Yeah, reasonably even. Just that kind of best breeze is that
Great view of two of the cyclers, Harry Lease, Brian Todd Hunter,
It still looks like the tactical
come out of the British rowing factory.
Right turn. Just because the boys are moving.
Massive day for the cyclists today, having to adjust huge camber in the sails throughout, so they will be pushing hard, particularly in the manoeuvres. A straight line is a bit of a cruise, but in the manoeuvres, going from max power to then back to depowered, absolute mega push.
Yeah, we saw them pushing out 200 and something watts in a manoeuvre that goes up to 4, 5, 6, 7.
For me to achieve at the moment on this tap then.
Yeah, no worries. Just looks a little bit lighter here. Just.
Emirates Team New Zealand at the top gate for the first time. Way behind in race 5, coming off the falls at the start. It is moments like this where you are tested.
Open course in 10. No worries, going all the way for the pressure.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shifting the course axis to 205.
10 to boundary.
And 3 to what's down?
Almost 3/4 of a leg difference there. The British team executing their job beautifully at the bottom. They'll be lining themselves up for potentially a right turn at the bottom, keeping things simple, as Hannah mentioned.
We have said on so many occasions there's not too much difference in these sailing teams, and it just will take a little bit of a moment to put the pressure back on the other team as INEOS Britannia now completes leg number 2 of 6. And we'll head back upwind.
Yeah, that's course for now. My track.
Back for windward.
Yeah, nice.
Bit 90. 35 this way. It means good. Let's keep the speed all the way. They're coming down in a big righty, I think.
Okay.
They'll be happy to back when you can.
Okay, stand by here.
Yep.
And board.
2, 1, made.
It's very light in that corner where INEOS Britannia are, but they seem very comfortable at this low wind speed manoeuvring. How impressed have you been, Glenn?
Look, they did a great job of accelerating the boat there, just getting up to full speed and making sure they got through that manoeuvre with plenty of rudder immersion and grip. So sailing the boat beautifully, the British on big sails. You just need to keep the boat airborne. They'll be in good shape. Quite a clear cross there by Emirates Team New Zealand, so no interest from the umpires in that situation. Emirates Team New Zealand will be looking for a mistake from the British team to get back into this. It's their only chance.
Okay, working it down. 2, 1, and board.
So New Zealand heading down to that bottom marked gate, and it is quieter at the bottom. What I've noticed is that INEOS are actually on a bigger jib, and just a little bit more horsepower probably helped them in that pre-start, as well as very good positioning. For Emirates Team New Zealand now, their best hope in this one really is if INEOS happen to fall off the foils, but INEOS look fully powered up. They're coming up this second windward beat. And it just looks like downward legs are the harder ones in terms of picking your moment to jibe. Upwind is just a little bit easier.
209.
So Emirates Team New Zealand complete leg number 2. It's been a good downward leg. They've picked up some, well, let's say they've closed the gap somewhat. But you heard Ben Azy, even in the start box, he just said it's all about staying on the foils. So they will be worrying about themselves.
It's like that. We're not going to get past them on the side. I can get all the way so we can get past them at least.
Hannah, if you were sitting on the shore crew of Emirates Team New Zealand and it stays like this, I mean, how big a deal is that pegging one back today?
It's a huge deal. Yeah, it's a huge deal. I think, you know, momentum is everything in sport, and you know, INEOS just need to get on the scoreboard. So this is a really exciting race for them. But in these conditions, when it's this wavy, this light, like, you cannot relax. It is so tense on board those boats just to make sure you stay in the air.
the error count in the last few days watching Emirates Team New Zealand has been so minuscule, and to see them make such a big mistake in this light wind start box, can't quite believe that happened.
20 seconds on the box.
The British beautifully locked in these bumpy conditions. Big day for the flight controllers, Bled and Mon.
Good wave here.
Lee McMillan.
5.
Ben and Dylan both steering the boat,
25.
calling the waves for the flight controllers as well. So big team effort to get the boat around the track nice and smoothly.
Picking your moment for your maneuver, so crucial. Lining up the waves.
Nice wave
It's
here.
like about 3 or 4 different wave angles today. Big swell coming in and then actually bouncing off that rock wall. A lot of reverberation coming back, so very, very difficult getting double up and triple up waves to deal with as well.
Maybe not.
INEOS Britannia at the top gate, and that will be halfway distance in race 5 of the match. Halfway to potentially their first win.
Okay, turning down 2, 1, down. Okay, yours.
2, 1. Get it, lads.
Okay.
Push up. Bang, main.
Okay. I'll be flat up here, Dill. Yeah, copy.
Let's go on board the INEOS chase boat with coach Rob Wilson. Well, Rob, they say anything can change on the back of one simple mistake. It's happened today. Mood lifting somewhat, I would suspect, in the coach boat and on the shore.
Yeah, no, it's good to get the get that dial down and get them off the foil. I think the other encouraging thing is you know, the performance sort of straight line and tacks and jibes. I think we've made a little step here. It's hard to tell with the distance between the boats, but I think that's quite encouraging. You know, the performance team and all the guys on the shore have worked bloody hard to make those improvements. So let's hope we can see them in the next race.
Rob, just quickly, INEOS Britannia looks very comfortable in these conditions and in this tricky manoeuvring sea state. You know, how pleased are you? How much of a gain has that been?
Yeah, it's a nice step up. You know, it's really tricky because obviously it's light and super sloppy with the sea state, and you know, maybe it's leveled the playing field a little bit. But I think we've made gains anyway, but it's hard to tell right now.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate the time, as always, as Emirates Team New Zealand complete the halfway mark. 3 legs of 6 done.
Wheels. Have you? Sorry. Nice.
Fairway set for New Zealand, heading down the left-hand side.
They went all the way. Would you go?
Certainly
clear
INEOS
anyway, so we
are
just go
well
the way
down
around.
the second time down win. For New Zealand, pretty well, unless something happens ahead of them, very difficult for them to make any inroads. Bit more pressure on that left-hand side, looking down the course.
I think go a little past it, but not that long to a boundary here. 15.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening to 1.55 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 210.
That'll be welcome news to INEOS Britannia. Lengthening the course means more wind, and we're seeing between 9 and 11 knots at the top and between 7 and 9 at the bottom. So there's still plenty holes in this, but INEOS Britannia doing a great job of putting them together.
Not much in at the bottom here, I think. Looks good pressure out there. Left turn.
Left turn's good.
Just be about minimising manoeuvres now for the British team and just sailing the boat well from here.
Okay, yours, Susie.
They will not get mown down through performance. It'll only be through a mistake. We'll see INEOS Britannia concede to the Kiwi team.
INEOS Britannia, that's 4 legs done. Final upwind leg facing them.
Okay, jib's good.
Fine. Let me stay flat, Dill.
Taking main here, lads. 2, 1. Main's good.
I think you might have been a bit of a lucky charm coming in, Hannah. boys will be happy with you.
25 this way.
My pleasure. Yeah, no, it's good to be here. Good to see the team sailing well. You know, we all knew that they had the performance, so it's just great to see. So far, this race is going to plan.
Put down.
3, 2, 1, mate.
Standing. Okay, mine. 2, 1, forward. Pushing a couple women.
Yeah, bit of softer than pressure in 10.
Definitely feel like a bit of a thorn between two roses here, Shirley. Sitting next to you two pro athletes. The sound of the gold medal wind chimes pretty loud in my ears. Wouldn't be the first time I've made a prick of myself either, to be honest, Stephen. But
nice little step up there. Getting top.
British team going beautifully. Emirates Team New Zealand, nothing they can do from here unless the British make a mistake.
Just shutting us down. Yeah. Probably should have pushed the lay on that last one.
Emirates Team New Zealand approaching the bottom gate for the 4th time, and they will just continue to chase. There's 2 long legs left for them as they look ahead at the official Challenger of Record upwind.
As we come over, nice wind all the way. Yeah, I think just slightly on the high side of the mode's good for the gauge.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, lengthening the final leg to 1.7 nautical miles.
Let's go on board the Emirates Team New Zealand chase boat and have a chat to Ray Davies. Talk to us about what happened in the start box. Mistake?
Well, from what we saw, we were just pretty much watching the TV and out the window by eye, and they obviously thought they were not going to cross in that first exchange, and then went into a jibe in front. And until we can kind of look at the proper review afterwards, we'll know whether they actually were crossing. So from what we've seen so far, it just looked like they were nervous about crossing and went to jibe, and obviously fell off the foils in that jibe, and got peppered by INEOS with a lot of dirty air, and obviously struggled to take off. So yeah, definitely, and that stemmed from being late on entry and not getting that vital first cross in the light air. So yeah, we can't hear exactly what went on there, so it'd be a good one to review and get to the bottom of that one.
All right, thanks, Ray.
It's definitely a bit of pressure right from here. They're going to get one tag from where they are. We've got 2, obviously. Yeah. It's just how far past you want to go.
Hearing port, helmsman Nathan Outridge painting the picture.
Britannia just sailing into a really big right hand bending pressure there, so that'll help them. 29 knots of boat speed, sailing into some really big seaway there.
Nice wave.
As this breeze increases, the boats actually get easier and easier to sail, so they'll be pretty much on a delivery trip from here. Not much that the Kiwi team can do to dig their way back into this.
INEOS Britannia approaching the top gate for the final time. When they round it, they are heading home and heading home to the finish line. And they look odds on to pick up their first win in the match.
100.
Day 4 of this cup is turning into a monster day for INEOS Britannia and their legion of fans.
That's a good pressure here. 35 this way, happy to extend this way with this shift.
Working on flat, tiny bit windward here.
Copy. Okay, yeah, let's try a bit if you can, Ben.
Okay, here we go. 2, 1, 4 down. 2,
INEOS have been flawless in this one. They got New Zealand off the foils pre-start, and they really just have pulled off every manoeuvre perfectly. Boat looks comfortable, and you just beg the question, what tweaks did they do to it with their day off in the shed? Boat looks really good in these conditions.
Lots of tip piercing, downwind. Really trying to just minimise that foil upstand, piercing the wave top. So trying to keep the boat nice and high at high boat speeds. Very low risk of ventilating the foil.
Cyclers working hard. We're seeing there Ryan Todd Hunter and Luke Parkinson.
Okay, last leg here. Yeah. Probably not going to get one in it.
It's not look fun.
Yeah, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Emirates Team New Zealand, that's 5 legs done. As you heard Ray Davies saying, when they finished this one, there'd be quite a discussion about what went on.
Go all the way into it.
Kiwi corner still packed to the rafters. Still one race to come after this.
Both boats nearly 40 knots of boat speed, around 9 knots of breeze in these bumpy conditions, so absolutely ripping downwind. Potentially only one more manoeuvre for INEOS Britannia. They will be towards the finish.
40s.
Keeping it high in those manoeuvres. Safer in the waves.
Yeah, sailing with plenty of margin is what the British team need to do, just keeping it smooth.
Just briefly, Hannah, how good? How good's this?
Yeah, it's amazing to see. You know, as a British fan, there's tons of British fans here, and everyone's been waiting for this first win. So, you know, just really with the team now that they can get it across the line.
We talk so long about the America's Cup, and we say, can they come back? Can a team come back? What can they do? You just never know. It can happen on any random day. But the phrase, this is the America's Cup, has never been truer today in race number 5, as INEOS Britannia have sailed flawlessly in this. And that will be one ecstatic crew. You can imagine what it feels like coming close to the line to get their first win in the match. But INEOS Britannia have changed the dial. They have just jump-started the comeback, and they're on the board. INEOS Britannia get win number 1 in the match.
Keep this roll going.
Hey, reach in here. Lovely.
Oh, you know what that means. You know what that means. The fight back is on. Finally nice to see smiles in the coach boat, isn't it, Shirley?
It's been a little while. I mean, can you imagine what this win means to the team? It's still a long way to go. They are still behind.
Hey, stand up there.
But that will be a sweet victory.
That's certainly a big point for INEOS Britannia. Very, very well sailed.
You got the impression from the New Zealand camp they weren't happy at all about what went on in the start box, but you've got to remember this team has been unflappable from the start of the match. They will turn it around, line up for race number 6, and they will not want to do that again.
Offshore for starboard entry, shouldn't we?
The defender of the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup heads toward the line. They don't get a point for this one, but they are still in the lead. Emirates Team New Zealand still lead 4-1 in the race to 7. And guess what? There's another one still to come today.